Today we need to talk about TSMC, Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Company. And this company is now trading at all-time highs, and some investors are thinking, is it now too late? Or could this just be the beginning of the AI revolution? Well, in this deep dive analysis, we're going to find the truth. So buckle up and let's dive right in. TSMC is the largest chip manufacturer in the world, and they were established in 1987. So it basically produces advanced chips, and it's used in phones, computers, and AI systems, and many other electronics. So in short, I would say that TSMC is a foundry that manufactures the most advanced microchips that power much of the modern technology right now. We are currently in the middle of an AI boom, and this is a period of rapid growth in the field of artificial intelligence. So this means that there's an exponential increase in demand for AI. And I believe that TSMC is the backbone of this whole AI revolution. Because of this massive demand into AI, it's similar to a gold rush, where everyone is looking for gold. And they're selling the AI is like the gold. And here we can see the hierarchy of basically all these companies that are in place when it comes to what position they have like in the AI race. For example, it's kind of like during a gold rush, sometimes selling the tools is more profitable than finding the gold. So here we can see that ASML is basically where it all starts, is the shovel machine maker. So they builds the tools to make the chips. And they are like the builder, they sell the machines, and TSMC buys the machines and they manufacture like the chips. And this is like as TSMC is like the world's leading semiconductor foundry, turns chips designs into physical chips at the most advanced nodes, 3 nanometers. So there is a shortage of chips, and TSMC is like basically the factory that manufactures everything. And then you have like NVIDIA that designs the chips, and like for example, design the AI chips GPU like the H100, B200, and the Blackwell, and they rely on TSMC. So almost all the companies, like the semiconductor companies like NVIDIA or AMD, rely on TSMC. And you have like companies like Supermicro, which I also invest in, and these basically buys all these video cards and chips from NVIDIA and Intel, and they build these servers and they sell to other companies that are training AI models, and these companies are like selling basically software. So all these companies are essentially in the production of selling the tools to find the gold, and the gold is essentially the AI. And who are basically the ones that are looking for gold are, for example, the cloud companies and the AI companies like OpenAI, Google, XA1, Microsoft, Meta, and Amazon. But there are also many small companies that are buying, for example, the servers from Supermicro to run their own AI. In short, I believe that TSMC is well positioned in the AI race, and they are basically the backbone of this whole revolution. We're now here on TradingView and we're looking at the charts of TSM, Taiwan Semiconductor. And we can see it's now trading in the pre-market at $397. And we can see that it is in a perfect, clear uptrend. It's like textbook uptrend. We can see that all the exponential moving average are basically in sequence, which shows that the trend is very strong. And the most likelihood, based on the technicals, is that we will see higher highs, which is great. So this could potentially be a great entry point when it's closer to the exponential moving averages. But is this company also fundamentally undervalued? And is this also a great opportunity? Is there a margin of safety? Let's find out. The first thing we're going to look at is the price to earnings ratio. This is the most basic way to find out whether a company is cheap or expensive. So what's the price to earnings ratio? Well, the PE ratio tells you how expensive a stock is compared to its profits. And many investors use this to find out whether a company is cheap or expensive. And the formula is as follows. It's basically the share price divided by the earnings per share. Or in other words, the market cap divided by the total earnings. So let's give an example. If the market cap goes down, but the earnings are the same, and it's still generating the same amount of money, then you could say it's undervalued. And if the P goes down, then the total number goes down. So the lower the PE ratio, the cheaper the company is, based on this theory, if we assume that growth stays the same. So an example, let's say the stock price is $50 and the company earns $5 per share per year. What is the PE ratio? Think about it. So let's find out. PE ratio is 50 divided by 5 is 10. So is this cheap or expensive? Well, it depends, right? But let's say the stock price collapses and it goes to $10. Well, then 10 divided by 5 is 2. So a P ratio of 2 is even much lower. So the lower the PE ratio, the cheaper the company is according to the PE ratio. So here on Finviz, we can see that the price to earnings ratio is 33.63, which is generally on the higher side. However, if we look here at the earnings per shares, we can see that in the past 3 to 5 years, it grew by 17 and 25%, which is great. And they are expected to grow by 31.44% in the next 5 years. So the expected growth is really high. And that's why we see why the price to earnings to growth ratio, the PEG ratio, is only 0.66, which could indicate that this company is still really cheap. Here we can compare the price to earnings ratio to other companies as well to find out whether it's relative cheap or expensive. So we already know that the PE ratio is around 30, so here 34.49. And if we look at the peers, we can see that it's potentially actually undervalued because a lot of these other companies like AMD, Broadcom, ASML, they actually have higher price to earnings ratios. And if we look at the PEG ratio, which includes the growth, which we saw earlier, like the expected earnings are expected to grow with 30%, then we can see that it's fairly valued because a lot of these semiconductors are expected to grow, but still 1.28 is still pretty solid, I would say. So it's still cheap. To find the true value per share, we can use an intrinsic value calculator based on Warren Buffett's owner earnings. And the owner earnings is essentially what's left for the stockholders, and we can discount all future owner earnings to present value, and we divide it to the amount of shares to find the true value per share. And we're going to use a discount rate of 8%. Because money today is more valuable than money in the future. We want money right now. And that's why we need to discount the future. But we can expect the growth rate of around 30% for the next 5 years. And then a terminal growth of 10%. And I think this is, can get a real value of the company. So the owner earnings is essentially net income plus depreciation and amortization minus capital expenditures and minus the change in working capital. So let's calculate the intrinsic value and we can find out that it's actually undervalued. There's a margin of safety of 19%, which gives us a potential upside to 24.6%. And the value scores is 7 out of 10. So relative undervalued. So the intrinsic value is $504 according to this calculator, which could give us a margin of safety, which is always good to know. So this company is making money and the stock price is relatively low based on these calculations. It's always great to know that we have a margin of safety as an investor, but the reason why I invest into a company that is more important is like whether it has a strong economic moat. So does TSM has an economic moat? Well, we can find out here and we can analyze it, and then we come to the conclusion that TSM has a strong competitive advantage. We can see that it's a score 8.8 out of 10, which is like really, really strong. TSM has been a great performer in my portfolio and I bought it like 4 or 5 years ago. But the reason why I bought it was not necessarily because of the valuations, but because of its strong wide economic moat. And this one is really, really high. So the brand power is an 8. TSMC's brand is synonymous with cutting-edge semiconductor manufacturing, making it preferred foundry for leading chip designers like NVIDIA or AMD. They all are customers of TSM. The switching cost is insanely high at a 9. The immense cost time and complexity involved in porting chips, designs, and qualifying a new foundry create extremely high switching cost for customers. And the most important one is the intangible assets. So TSM possesses an unparalleled portfolio of patents, trade secrets, and process know-how in advanced semiconductor manufacturing, which is incredible and incredibly difficult to replicate. So what does this mean? Well, it's almost impossible to compete with this company. You cannot really start your own chip foundry and compete with Taiwan. It's almost impossible. Of course, we have Intel, we have Samsung, but TSM is doing it on such a large scale that they are basically a monopoly. And that's what I want when I invest into a company. But here we can see the strength and weaknesses as well. So unrivaled technological leadership in advanced process nodes like the 3 nanometer chips, and in the future the 2 nanometer chips, deep long-term relationships with virtually all major fabulous semiconductors companies, massive capital expenditures and R&D budget that few can match, and proprietary manufacturing processes and intellectual property. But there are some weaknesses like significant geopolitical risk due to its location in Taiwan and high capital intensity requiring continuous massive investments. So there are always like some risk into a company, but I would say that the strength outweigh the risks, and I would say that the moat is so wide that it's just a no-brainer when it comes to the economic moat. We're back here on the charts on TradingView. Market is going to open soon in a few minutes, and I'm just going to hold my position personally. My average cost price is around like it's like way back. It's roughly around $80. So this is one of my this is a great performer in my portfolio together with Nvidia. But yeah, I'm not going to sell or anything. I would just hold my position. I think the trend is still intact. We are still in a strong bullish uptrend. So the most likely way is that it will continue to go up, maybe with small corrections, but then I'm expecting higher highs. Of course, always do your own research, always do your own due diligence. This video was for educational purpose only. If you like this video, feel free to like and subscribe for more videos. And if you want to support this channel, consider becoming a member or check the links in the descriptions down below. With that being said, I hope you have a great day and I'll see you in the next video. If you want to learn how to master stock analysis like a pro and find winning stocks and beat the market so you can build a portfolio that consistently wins, then feel free to check the link in the description down below.